the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
From DUIs and traffic stops to being busted for criminal conspiracies, some NFL players seem to run into the law more than they do the end zone. One player even turned the highway into something out of a GTA game with cops on his tail. But that's just the tip of the iceberg for what we're about to show you in this video. We're kicking off with some of the wildest arrests in NFL history, starting with this guy who got nabbed while trying to escape from the crime scene. First up on our list is Julian Edelman, a three-time Super Bowl champ. Sure, he's caught plenty of Hail Mary passes, but that's not all he's caught. Back in 2020, he caught a misdemeanor for supposedly trashing someone's car.
Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman has been arrested for vandalism. It happened last night in Beverly Hills, California, of all places. He's accused of jumping onto the hood of a Mercedes and damaging it. Former Celtics captain Paul Pierce posted this picture on Instagram showing him, Edelman, and Danny Amendola. In his comments, Pierce says this picture was taken shortly before the incident. Edelman was reportedly cited for vandalism and released on a citation. He's been scheduled for an April court appearance.
Turns out it wasn't as big a deal as it sounds, especially once Edelman shared his side of the story.
We just started taking down a bunch of tequila. We were talking about Starsky and Hutch because there was a bunch of cops that weren't letting anyone out. And as soon as they let us out, we were walking by a parking garage and a car rolled up.
But at least his brush with the law didn't throw his whole team under the bus, like the next guy on our list. Jonathan Babineaux might have been a Falcon through and through, but back in December 2009, he really dropped the ball. He got busted for having an illegal substance, which totally threw him off his game, and he left the Falcons scrambling without their top pass rusher. The team's coach, Mike Smith, tried to brush it off, saying, "This is a strong group of men in this locker room. We all have a job to do, and we're going to go out and do it." But you could tell he was pretty ticked off about the whole mess. Despite his arrest, Babineaux is actually a pretty cool guy, especially with all he's done for his community.
This is truly such an honor to be a recipient of this award. I'm truly humble to be the recipient. You know, my mother raised me to be a man, and you know, I'm just blessed to be in the position that I am, and I love seeing the youth having smiles on their face and being a positive influence to them.
It kind of makes you believe in the power of second chances. But speaking of needing chances, the next NFL player on our list needed more than just a couple. When defensive end Aldon Smith got picked 7th overall by the 49ers in the 2011 NFL Draft, it was a dream come true for the kid from Mississippi. But then he got hit with a DUI charge, and everything got put on pause.
The truth will come out. There's no DUI, and I'm sorry for anybody I let down. I'm sorry for, you know, the way this whole thing. Let me do this. It's just this time, like, you know, I need to speak, and I want everybody to understand this wasn't a DUI. The situation that happened could have been handled differently, and I apologize for everybody I did let down, and I apologize for how it all played.
Was he really sorry? Hard to say. The 49ers put him on leave right away, but they gave him another shot. Then he went and made some fake bomb threats at an airport. Yep, he blew his second chance too. And even after getting yet a third shot, he ended up getting arrested again.
Yeah, exactly. The former 49er and Raider.
Former 49er Aldon Smith has been arrested once again in San Francisco, this time for violating a court order.
It didn't completely end his NFL dreams, but it sure didn't help his career shine. But wait till you hear about the next person on our list. He's a whole different story. Marshawn Lynch was a beast on the field, but unfortunately, he went full beast mode on the roads too, which obviously caused some major issues. Back in 2008, he got slapped with a hit-and-run charge, pleaded guilty, and also had to deal with a couple of DUIs. The first one popped up in 2012. He pleaded guilty to reckless driving, got 2 years of probation, and had to take a driver's safety class. Guess he didn't learn much from that class because he got nailed with another DUI 10 years later near the Las Vegas Strip.
Initially finding him asleep in a damaged sports car.
He said he doesn't drink and he doesn't do drugs. Have you ever seen anybody drive a car like that?
That's pretty good.
He drove it till the rim came off.
If you thought reckless driving was wild, well, what did you hear about getting chased by cops down the freeway? Marshawn knows a thing or two about that kind of drama. Justin Strzelczyk actually got more notorious after he retired. This offensive tackle had a solid 8-year NFL stint, but even that didn't prep him for the wild stuff he'd get into later. His first run-in with the law was in November 2000, 2 years after he retired. He got arrested for carrying a gun without a permit, and his DUI 3 years later, just the tip of the iceberg. One time, he was riding his Harley-Davidson to a fundraiser and got tangled up in a minor crash. Instead of stopping, he led the cops on an absolute crazy chase. He never faced charges from that chase because it ended tragically. He crashed head-on into a tanker, turning the highway into a disturbing disaster scene.
Captured here in a police videotape obtained by ESPN. When a trucker tried to stop him by blocking the thruway with his semi, Strzelczyk swerved across the median and into oncoming traffic. For about 3 minutes at the height of rush hour, he drove the wrong way on the thruway at nearly 90 miles per hour, never changing lanes, passing hundreds of cars.
And if you think that's chaotic, wait till you hear about Jim Brown's personal life. The late Jim Brown was an absolute legend, and not just in height. The 6'2" fullback grabbed an NFL championship title just a year before hanging up his cleats, and even snagging his third MVP title in his final season. Jim was a jack of all trades, an athlete, activist, and actor. Unfortunately, he also had his issues with assault. He had charm, but a serious temper to match.
Dance through defenses and single-handedly dominate a sport in a way that had never been done before. Jim Brown was football.
My attitude is that as a champion, I only relate to my level of performance, and I must remain pure in that.
He was no stranger to the police, having been arrested several times for battery and assault involving numerous fashion models and even his second wife, Monique.
He served time in prison in 2002 for charges related to a domestic violence dispute, and he often took a defiant tone.
Because I'm afraid to go to jail? Hell no, I'm not afraid to go to jail.
But some players just don't even wait till they make it to the league before they start causing a ruckus. Adam Pac-Man Jones was stirring up drama long before his first NFL game. He was already on probation for assault and vandalism when he entered the 2005 draft. And that was just the beginning. 2 years into his football career, he found himself tangled up in a shooting at a Las Vegas club. But his troublemaking days didn't stop there. From 2017 to 2023, Jones was arrested 4 times, with one incident leading to an NFL suspension.
County jail and charged with alcohol intoxication, disorderly conduct, and making a terroristic threat. Jones was clearly not happy when he walked out of jail a short time ago. He told me he was headed to Monday Night Football. He denies the charges and says he's not drunk, and said the incident stemmed from a charger not working.
In his past, it's something he doesn't appreciate people trying to revisit.
Turn around, go back that way. Bye. See you. Next question. That's his last interview for the year. See y'all later. Don't come over here no more for the rest of the year.
Now, we're hitting the top 3 in our list. And trust me, it only gets wilder from here. The next name is a doozy, so don't be shocked. Michael Vick was all the rage when he burst into the NFL, living up all that college hype. Although he never snagged a championship, Vick was a 4-time Pro Bowler who electrified fans every game, winning hearts across team lines. But then, he became one of the most despised figures in sports. In 2007, Vick's world flipped upside down when he got busted and ended up serving nearly 2 years for running illegal dog fights.
Allegations of hanging, shooting, body slamming, even electrocuting dogs to death as part of a multi-state underground dog-fighting operation is a record-breaking NFL superstar, a former #1 draft pick, losing a $120 million contract over dog fights.
Although he had a stellar highlight reel after serving his time, the crime itself was grim. Multiple dogs were tortured and bet on. Dogs might be man's best friend, but they sure weren't Vick's. O.J. Simpson's name rings a bell, but not really for football. Nope, it's all about that infamous murder case of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown. That's the one with the unforgettable line, "If the glove don't fit, you must acquit."
Doesn't fit, you must acquit.
He got off in that criminal trial, but a civil court slapped him with a hefty bill, claiming he was liable for her death. That verdict practically cleaned him out. He was so broke that he started scrambling for cash any way he could, selling off assets, even writing a book. Rumors swirled about him dipping into shady stuff like trafficking and money laundering.
Bars for kidnapping and robbery. An emotional sigh from the former football great.
Thank you.
Making a lengthy plea.
What were you thinking? I thought I was glad to get my stuff back, but it wasn't worth it. I'm sorry.
But what really landed him in the slammer was a Vegas caper, swiping sports memorabilia from a hotel casino. He got nailed with kidnapping, robbery, and aggravated assault, among other charges.
I'm 1 year in the county jail. Count 2, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 2 to run concurrent to count 1. Count 3, conspiracy to commit robbery, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 3 to run concurrent to count 2. Count 4, burglary while in possession of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 26 months, a maximum term of 120 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 4 to run concurrent to count 3.
While OJ's saga is a tale as old as time, the wildest arrest story comes from more recent times. Before he was scoring touchdowns and dominating the league as a Super Bowl champ, Tyreek Hill found himself in hot water back during his college days at Oklahoma State. He got arrested for getting physical with his then pregnant girlfriend. But fast forward to just before the 2024 NFL season, and things got wild again. The Dolphins were gearing up for their opener against the Jaguars, and Tyreek gets pulled over for reckless
As a
driving.
matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 What part of blood are you doing?
What was supposed to be a routine stop turned into a full-blown scene. Cops said Hill wasn't cooperating, and next thing you know, he's on the ground cuffed with 3 officers holding him down. Even with that mess, he was back on the field soon enough, scoring a touchdown to help his team clinch a win against their rivals. The arrest caused an uproar in social media as multiple people stood up for Hill, and many supported the cops' position. And there you have it, the wildest NFL arrest stories. Hit up the comments to let us know which ones blew your mind the most. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more stories like these. Thanks for watching.